Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to our channel. Some days back, Kelechi Madu, who happened to be the Canadian Justice Minister, called out AGF Malami over the processes which he used to bring back Nnamdi Kanu back to Nigeria, and he called on international body to look into the matter. He said quite a lot. Of course, AGF Malami, that's Abubakar Malami, have decided to respond, and they gave series of reply, which you're going to get in a moment. It's quite a serious one, I must say. But before going to the news proper, like it, subscribe to our channel by clicking on the red subscribe button beside it. You see a bell notification icon. Please go ahead, click on it to get notified as soon as we update our channel on YouTube. Well, Nigerian Minister of Justice Abubakar Malami has described Canadian Justice Minister in the region of Alberta, Kelechi Madu, as an empty vessel. Oops. Malami stated this as part of his reply to the position of Madu, who made comments after the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, as Ipob, Nnamdi Kanu, was rearrested and brought back to Nigeria. Well, report has that Madu, in a post on his LinkedIn page, said if Ipob leader was truly abducted in Kenya, then the Nigerian minister is a disgrace to the rule of law. Ouch. But in response on Wednesday, AGF Malami blasted Alberta Justice Minister Kelechi Madu, saying he is ignorant of relevant local and international laws on such issues. He also added, empty vessels make the loudest noise. The statement read in part, there was no illegality in the entire process, and the question of illegality does not even arise. It is a common principle of law that he who comes to equity must come with clean hands. Where was the so-called Madu when Nnamdi Kanu was inciting violence against the country? Why, as a lawyer, would Madu support a fugitive who jumped bail and accused of terrorism and treasonable felony? What stopped Madu from voicing out dissent on the atrocities of Kanu and their group? It is important to educate the likes of Kelechi Madu that both Nigeria, his country of birth, and Canada, where he claims to be practicing law, are signatories to the multinational treaty agreement where, among others, fugitive fleeing justice in nations with similar agreements could be brought back to face justice. It is a pity that as a solicitor general of a province, Madu failed to keep himself acquainted with the provisions of general laws of the country where he stays, as well as international laws. We advise the so-called learned man to shove his arrogance and learn to study the law books before opening his mouth to disgrace himself before the right-thinking members of the society. Malami further called the attention of Madu to relevant Canadian law on the treatment of fugitives. We wish to draw the attention of Madu to the provision of Consolidated Act Criminal Code under the Canadian law RS C 1985 C 46 1-2 on treason and other offences vis-a-vis. 46 subsection 1. Everyone commits high treason who in Canada A. kills or attempts to kill Her Majesty or does her any bodily harm tending to death or destruction, maims or wounds her, or imprisons or restrains her. B. Levels war against Canada or does any act thereto. Or C. Assist an enemy at war with Canada or any armed forces against whom Canadian forces are engaged in hostilities, whether or not a state of war exists between Canada and the country whose forces they are. 46 subsection 2. Everyone commits treason who in Canada A. use force or violence for the purpose of overthrowing the government of Canada or a province. B. Without lawful authority communicates or makes available to an agent of a state other than Canada military or scientific information or any sketch, plan, model, article, note, or document of a military or scientific character that he knows or ought to know may be used by that state for a purpose prejudicial to the safety of defense of Canada. C. Conspires with any person to commit high treason or do anything mentioned in paragraph. D. Forms an intention to do anything that is high treason or that is mentioned in paragraph. E. Conspires with any person to do anything mentioned in paragraph B, or forms an intention to do anything mentioned in paragraph B and manifest intention by an overt act, the statement added. Whoop. In other words, he's trying to say even Canada have their own rules. In other words, what AGF Malami is trying to say is that he's comparing the laws of Canada to the laws of Nigeria, saying if by treasonable felony in Canada, anybody who wants to do a bodily harm to somebody of high authority or someone they regard as their president or somebody that they regard as their governor or holding a high political position, then such and such and such and such and such should be done. And he's saying if Canada can even go into such, and then why shouldn't Nigeria? Now, here is the clause. While AGF Malami is quoting the laws back to a solicitor or back to Madu, telling him that look, what is applicable and acceptable in Canada is also acceptable in Nigeria. Okay, we are no less a country than Canada automatically. In summary, that's what he's trying to say. But you know what makes this quite a hackling tax is simply because, to start with, IPOB has been proscribed in Nigeria. So it's easy, technically speaking, it's very easy to say, look, these guys are proscribed, they're a terrorist group. And in our law, this is how we treat a terrorist group. Now, in your law, how do you treat a terrorist group? It's about the same, it's similar to the way they treat a terrorist group in Nigeria. Okay? Now, Fulani herdsmen we've heard their stories, especially the militia arm, that have been maiming, doing all sorts. They have not been proscribed in Nigeria, which means whatever thing they do, even if they travel out for any reason or they leave the country because they are not proscribed, you cannot tell them to come back home to attend to any crime or attend to any court case or anyone, because they are not a terrorist group in Nigeria, so they can't be seen as a fugitive or a terrorist group. So which means, technically speaking, the fact that the IPOB has been proscribed in Nigeria gives the leeway for all those laws being quoted, especially in Nigeria, to stick. So it's gonna have to, honestly, I don't know how July 26 is going to look like, but I know I'm going to be seeing a lot of intellectual works out there. Well, I guess I'm going to wrap it up. I'm just hoping that very soon, Madu, the Honorable Minister, will definitely respond to this. Let's put in that comment section. What's your take? This is quite a dicey one, judging the fact that Nigeria had hurriedly proscribed IPOB, so making it a bit dicey.